Okay, yeah, I know the I know the screen's currently sized very, very weirdly. That's because the last time I was doing... Okay. Does that mean I need to... Sorry, the last time I was doing a video, I was doing something, it was a video, which meant that... There we are, that seems about right. Last time I was doing anything, yeah. It was a video, which meant I could have this full screen, because I didn't need to look at chat. However, this is now not the case. So, today we are going to be beating the Spider Queen without any weapons, hopefully. And hopefully without dying. So this is going to be, or a variant on this, is going to be my Venture League character. But the thing is, there's currently no way to replay the Spider Queen battle, so the only way I have of testing this out is to repeatedly log on. I have got a character at the moment for Hardcore LU currently up to the Spider Queen, but I don't want to try that out until I'm really certain that we can actually win. Because it takes about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes of work to get a character up there, and that's assuming nothing goes wrong, which it reasonably often does. So, yeah, I don't overly want to waste that character. So we're going to start again with a new character. Hopefully this will work out first time. So the issue with this is we need some reliable way to take down the Dark Spiderlings. And the Dark Spiderlings in the Spider Queen battle are difficult. They have less health, which is good, but I don't think they deal any more damage, but there are 3 of them, and their AI targets on all of you simultaneously. Sorry, all of their AI targets on you simultaneously. So basically that makes it a lot harder. In order to beat them, we can't use this, until there's 1 left, we can't use the standard technique we use in the Spider Cave. Probably even when there's 1 left, we can't use it. And on top of that, they're a little bit buggy on TLU. So, yeah, we've got, so I'm just opening up chat in web browser so I can actually reply, if anyone sends a message. So yeah, I have no idea how or whether we'll be able to make this work. The plan at the moment is, well, I'm assuming the only way of managing this is going to be to grind out... Sorry, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, so I'm being inefficient here. But at the moment, I feel like the only way of managing to beat those spiderlings is to grind out a ton of firecrackers, which is really annoying because firecrackers don't drop that commonly, and there is no reliable source of firecrackers. Ideally, yeah, ideally I would like to take out all of the spiderlings. It should be possible with like 3 firecrackers per set of spiderlings, but in reality that probably is not going to work. Okay, let's actually get everything else. So I'm not going to run this. I'm not going to run this through as a proper hardcore run. If I die, I don't care all that much. I'm going to keep going because this is pretty much just a practice run. However, if this does succeed and I don't need to do a new character to do the Spider Queen again, then, oh, hello, that's the phone. That's the phone. I should probably handle this. 1 second, stream is going on mute. Okay, Well, that was good. That wasn't anything important. There we are. Let's also, whilst I'm here, make sure I've got chat in like an easily accessible place. There we are. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yep, let's... Oh, I didn't mean to get 2 of those, but anyway. Yeah, I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to do this for about an hour. Which means we should have time to, at the very least, get to the Spider Queen battle. Like in a standard hardcore LU run, that would take probably on the order of 45 minutes. Yeah, we'll see how this all goes. Okay, well, I've got one more set of binoculars. I should have read all the plaques. I don't remember if I got story already, but okay, I did. Cool. I love the idea. Bob's trying to help everyone off the ship, and he's just standing there watching as I just walk right into a solid wall just in front of him. Just as you do. Not bothering getting all the parts because we can buy those later on, all the rocket parts. And I mean, this isn't even a character I'm particularly racing on, working on racing, like getting achievements up on. But it's still going to be worth having lots of having a lot of achievements on this character, just in the same extent it normally is, because DLU only has a limited amount of content at the moment. It can be reasonably difficult getting up to level 15 in rank 2 faction gear. It's a lot easier than it used to be. Now we have Gnarled Forest and Return to Venture Explorer. Like, it's not too bad getting to rank 2 faction gear anymore, but it's still not easy. So it still helps to have this stuff picked up. And now we begin to run. So the thing that takes the most time out of this beginning, in terms of any single mission, is going to be the Maelstrom Brick mission, which is just always a little bit slow. Raymond, good morning to you too. Yeah, so it's just going to be running through. I mean, you've all seen this beginning gameplay many times. The Spider Queen gameplay, hopefully that will be something you haven't seen too often. I know I've done some stuff on it like once or twice, but...
You just earned a weapon. Find it in your backpack.
My instinct now is just go hardcore LU, but of course I don't have to, which is really nice. Because I'm not too concerned at the moment. I really wonder what the drop chance for firecrackers is. Because that would really change up how I play this. How was my Christmas? My Christmas was really good. Best of all, was not something that I got at Christmas, though. It was something that just came the other day. And yeah, I got a Frisbee. Got an Ultimate Frisbee disc. And the reason I specified the Ultimate Frisbee disc rather than just a Frisbee is because we had quite a few Frisbees at the house anyway. But this is one that's like actually... Because I've been playing a lot of Ultimate Frisbee, and this one actually like has like decent weight to it, good radius, so it flies really nicely. And so yeah, very pleased about that. That was, and in terms of Christmas itself, was good fun. Spent the day with my family, the evening playing games and talking with friends from uni. Couldn't ask for too much more. Yeah, I've literally got genuinely this disc is like, oh, I'm so happy about this. It came through the other day. It's like, yeah, it's the best epic present. Also, I got quite a few. I don't know how many of you watching this will have come across these. I got quite a few buckyballs. Now, I am not referring to the C60 molecule, but to some neodymium magnets, which are, I don't know, produced by some company, and which are apparently some sort of child safety / trading regulation body, like, doesn't want to be sold in the UK because kids can eat them and they can like rip through like their insides because they're very, very strong magnets and they're quite small, so they exert quite a lot of pressure. However, I have never eaten one to this date, which I'm not going to lie, quite proud of myself for, because they do look very, very tasty. And yeah, I'm so I got quite a few. I've been sort of picking them up with birthday and Christmas presents for years, but they are so cool. I was so happy. Because at the moment, I've kind of every time I get more buckyballs, there's one design I go back to, which is basically you can align multiple pentagons in such a way that you kind of fold them around. It's kind of like a dodecahedron in that the sides are pentagonal, except not quite, because like technically each side is joined by any pair of sides is joined by a square, and any vertex is joined to the nearest pentagon by a triangle. So technically it's not a dodecahedron, but it's very closely related in terms of structure. And turning loads and loads of those into one single giant, like C60, like actual proper Buckminster Fullerene / football structure, which is really cool. And like, because I have more than I've had before, I made it a lot further through building that, which is really cool. I feel like I've been very materialistic with this, but like honestly, like, I don't know. I feel in general I've been like just quite happy this year, and so kind of like the only thing that made Christmas different from most other days this year was kind of gift giving, which is why it's doing some minds. And these were just the gifts that were very, very kind. I was kind of like, oh, that's really cool. That just really put a smile on my face. Like, yeah, I guess that's quite materialistic of me, but I guess it's materialistic, but on the other hand, if I weren't that happy, it would be unappreciative. So you can take that from that what you will about my personality. Of course I'm happy I get to play OU again. True, that is very true. Yeah, and DOU just randomly being like, hey, yeah, properties and Spider Queen. What? I knew we'd had screenshots of like Winston's posted screenshots on his Twitter of him working on properties, and he'd also posted screenshots in the Discord of the Spider Queen battle. So like we knew that it was coming at some point. I did not expect at any time this soon. Like, as I've said 1,000 times, DLU now actually feels like a game. It's something I can sit down and play and genuinely enjoy myself. Prior to this point, you had to invent... if you wanted to make LU gameplay fun, you basically just had to invent your own challenges and your own things to do. Is this radiator turned off next to me? Because it's getting a little cold. It's that time of year, and this radiator feels freezing, but the heating is turned up in the house. So I've either just turned it on or just turned it entirely off. Okay, let's... but in fairness, I'm not certain it can get much more off than it already is. So you know what? I'll take it. Okay, so this is what we want. I want firecrackers. What I want to test is, in theory, it's possible to get through the Spider Queen, to get through the Spiderlings spawned by the Spider Queen with only 6 firecrackers. I think that's about the minimum I could see myself reasonably doing. The question is, is it feasible? Kind of getting a bit of practice, and how long, how much time would that add to a run? What do I think is the most difficult to code besides properties? So properties are not finished, is one thing I want to say. And like, I would say properties are definitely the most difficult thing, because they incorporate so many things. So you've got the basic things. You've got, well, okay. I mean, alone, you've got the fact that you have you've got like the transition from the Spider Queen boss battle into now suddenly being able to build on a place. But like, okay, some of that's client-sided, a lot of that's server-sided, some of it's client-sided. So okay, maybe you argue that's not too hard. But then you've got model placement, etc. And like, but again, that's not too bad. The thing that gets really difficult, and the thing that like, I think people don't... When I did it, I don't think people realised how hard it would have been for DLU to make, was brick building. Brick building is like... I'm very, very impressed that they managed it. Like, okay, it's DLU. I did know more or less that they had the capabilities for brick building. Not totally certain how much I can/should discuss about precisely the methods they're using for it. But basically, yeah, I knew they could do brick building, but it is still amazing to see it. And like, even just technically having, so basically, you need, in order to get brick building working, you need to have on the server, you need to have a bit of code that basically says, okay, no, let's phrase this differently. Nothing in LEGO Universe is done directly from a LEGO brick building file. So I'm running around here. You'll see all sorts of smashables as I run. None of those smashables. There is nothing that I'm aware of anywhere in the game. I could be slightly wrong, but in general, like any smashable thing, anything you see that's built out of Lego, those things are stored separately in the game. So there are sometimes like brick building files in the game, but those brick building files aren't the things you see on the screen when you're playing. Those don't affect the gameplay in that way. They tend to affect more things like when stuff's dropped. The brick building files tend to affect like how you see the pieces shatter on the floor. That's like the sort of thing they tend to do. So anything where bricks kind of appear on their own like that. And yeah, so basically the point is the game requires separate separate mesh files and separate physics files to the like obvious brick building files. And the brick building files are the same sorts of files you get in like Lego Digital Designer, etc. And so basically you've got to have a pipeline that converts from those files into mesh files, which are stored in the NIF format, that's difficult, but doable. Because I'm pretty certain pipelines exist at the moment, which get you. I just realised I haven't been. I'm so used to doing Hardcore U that I haven't been putting on, like, better armour, etc. as I get it. Let me do this. Okay, I'm just also going to run up, sell some stuff out of my inventory, because I don't really want to trash it. I mean, I can trash things like this, actually, because that's only 5 coins, but yeah, anyway, the reason I'm talking about all of this is the fact that brick building, you require so much back end, and then you require like loading those models back into your property and interacting with those, which at the moment DLU doesn't have. And on top of that, apparently at the time LEGO Universe closed, the developers themselves were reworking the entirety of the property system, but they hadn't completed it. So the devs are working with like an unfinished property system, and they're trying to complete it themselves. Like, I feel for them. That would be difficult. So yeah. So in terms of single things that have to come, I think properties probably... I know you said other than properties, but I think properties and the remaining stuff on properties still is the hardest thing we have to come. That's that I'm aware of. That's what springs to mind. I'm not a developer, so I could be entirely wrong. Other things I'd say are minigames. Minigames are weird. Just full stop. I'm interested to see when we start getting minigames, etc. Because I expect that's going to be a little while. Well, no, it definitely is going to be a little while. That's not really much of an expectation. That is just yeah, it will be. But the thing is, do minigames necessarily count as a single feature? So, like, I mean, apparently on LCDR had code to the stage, and bear in mind, now all of LCDR's code DLU can have, but LCDRU had code to the stage where you could run around, you could spawn in a car and drive around in a car, if you so desired. And so, like, that bit worked on its own, but racing didn't, for instance, because there are lots of other subsystems to implement with racing and lots of scripts, etc. So, yeah. And also, like, people haven't looked into racing as much as... So there are certain aspects of LU that people have looked into a lot. And there are certain aspects that people really, really haven't looked into, and racing's one of those things. Simon's, like, the only person who's ever had a project that claims to have anything that looks anywhere near like racing. That's on Crooks. Because no one's just focused on it, because it's not part of the central gameplay. It's not part of the central mission chain, so why bother, I guess. It's a lot of people's opinion. It certainly is not typically a priority. With that said, I don't know how hard it would be to implement it. I suspect... So there are going to be lots and lots of quests. Lots and lots of quests, lots of quest chains. And many of those are going to require their own individual scripts. Do I think that any individual script is going to be insanely difficult? I have no idea. I mean, I suspect there will be one or some that really stump the devs in terms of implementing them. Like that, like just inevitably, there's going to be one that's particularly difficult. But, hey, the radiator's on. But which one that is, I'd have literally no idea, because it's just going to be something weird that you kind of don't expect to be as hard as it is. And it's like there was some hacky fix which isn't particularly obvious in the script, and so now you're kind of going back and trying to guess how the hacky fix was implemented, or rather how the client expects the hacky fix to be implemented. It's going to be difficult. I have no idea. No idea how. I have no idea how you'd manage that, but also I have no idea what that would be on, because it could be anything that's implemented hackily. There are so many missions left in LU, I have no idea which one would be the particular hacky mission. Okay, I'm gonna do this one without... I'm gonna do this mission without any extra stuff, just as practice. Hardcore LU. Shouldn't be. Do I actually? Nah, I can't be bothered. Because that would just waste time. And like I don't want to. I'm reasonably confident in my ability now. I mean, the current character is past this stage. I'm reasonably confident in my ability to beat the spiderlings here. So yeah, it's not worth it. Anyway, I spent so long talking about that question of what is the most difficult thing to code. Whilst other people were talking in chat. So, Psych Theory, you can't wait for this to be available for more people. I mean, true. But, Nork and the devs, and hopefully, closed beta, sometime soon, prediction video in the works, in that regards. Well, not just in that regard, but prediction video in the works at the moment, which we'll cover. My thoughts on when closed beta might be. Do I think there will be something like that in DLU, Raymond? I'm not totally certain what you're referring to in that instance. And Visky says, A to you too, Visky. Good to see you, mate. Oh, this is... I love how much easier this is. Just running around with full faction gear. Like, given I'm used to very, very carefully fighting one, running back and forth. To be able to deal all the damage to smash one of these things in 4 hits rather than in 15 really makes a difference, it turns out. I'm not certain which video you're talking about. Off the top of my head. Okay, yeah, so. No, I'm not falling for that. I need to grind myself some more firecrackers, and I don't think there are any missions that guarantee you firecrackers. We got this from probably Avant-Guardian Paradox Protector, something like that. The first edition of that. No, it must have been Avant-Guardian, because Paradox Protector would have required me to smash spiderlings, which I didn't do. Oh, the video about the 10th anniversary. Wait, you mean the sub-pixel one are you referring to? I mean, I have no idea whether or not Subpixel will do something like that. If you are referring to the Subpixel video, which, like, when someone mentions 10th anniversary LU video, I'm going to, off the top of my head, assume the Subpixel video, because, like, that was the big one that came out for DLU's 10th anniversary. Okay, I'm not having much luck on the whole firecracker front with these spiderlings. I wonder, it could be that it's not actually part of their drop table, but I haven't really been grinding for long enough to know. I mean, hopefully, okay, so I only know I've received firecrackers from enemies out on the main battlefield. It could be that spiderlings literally don't drop them. I mean, looking at this, they mostly seem to be dropping health and bricks, but of course that doesn't mean they can't drop them. So I'm gonna keep going, see if we get stuff that isn't, because yeah, the main challenge really here at the moment is to work out what's the most efficient way of stockpiling things like firecrackers. I say things like firecrackers, I mean just firecrackers, and I literally need one firecracker. Or at least I want one firecracker. And do I think it's doable with fewer than one? It could be, I guess. But I would not. You've got 3 spiderlings. Spiderlings can do, depending on how they're feeling, like up to... Each spiderling can do in one attack up to 3 hearts of damage. And I cannot predict what attacks the spiderlings that the spider queen spawns will use, because their AI doesn't work the same way as the AI of the spiderlings here. Like the spiderlings here, I know exactly which attacks they'll be using and when, but there's so much going on in the spider queen battle, I can't.